Kathy wants to know about a Leo woman with a Scorpio man. This is kind of like similar to asking me about a Scorpio with a Taurus. A Leo is a fixed sign and a Scorpio is a fixed sign. I generally do not like to see fixed signs together unless the rest of the chart is conducive to them getting along well. When looking at synastry or compatibility, I generally do not like to see fixed signs together because they're both very set in their ways and they're both very stubborn. And I spoke a lot about that when looking at Scorpio and Taurus. When Scorpio and Taurus get together, they both want to have it their way and they both want to manipulate the other person, the other party in the relationship to give them exactly what they want, the way they want it, how they want it, when they want it. And there's no shame in your game, Scorpio, Taurus, Leo, Aquarius. Don't take this as a negative. That's who you are. You should have no shame about that. That's who you are. You like things your way. That's who you are. And it's okay. It's okay. All I'm saying is because you are that way, you are not going to be a good match with somebody who is also that way. Because Scorpio is just as controlling as manipulative as you. Leo is just as controlling as you, Taurus. Aquarius is just as domineering and inflexible as you. It looks different, but it's the same thing. That's just a headache because you both are not going to be able to see that the way that you approach relationships is very me-centered. You guys only want to open the door to relationship to people who come in to make your life more comfortable. You're not thinking about relationships as you going in partnership with somebody to make their life comfortable. That's not how you think about relationship. You think about them in terms of people catering to you, not you catering to people. It doesn't mean you don't cater to people, but you cater to people when they cater to you first. Do you see what I'm saying? Meanwhile, there are other zodiac signs out here who are literally going into relationship to give of themselves to others. Their whole protocol is, I see that you need love. I see that you're wounded. I see that you want something. I'm going to go towards you and give you the love that you need so I can make your life better. No, the fixed signs don't approach love like that. No. Aquarius does. Out of all of them, Aquarius does because Aquarius is here to build people. Remember, Aquarius is a karmic teacher in astrology. Aquarius tends to be attracted to people that are in need of help to get through life. So if an Aquarius falls in love with you, it's because they're attracted to someone that's a little bit damaged because they like to build people up. They like to fix people. Out of the 4 fixed signs, Aquarius is the only one that generally is interested in investing in you to build you up to the place where you can be. Because Aquarius likes to see you live up to your highest potential. Leo, Scorpio, and Taurus on the other end do not do struggle love. Okay? They only want your love if your love benefits them. If your love brings something to the table for them that makes them feel more secure and more powerful. If your love does not bring security and power, they don't want it at all. So generally when these two get together, it's too much of the same energy. And especially in the case of Leo, they need a lot of attention. So if you're not bending over backward to accommodate their high need for attention, it's not going to work. They're going to be having temper tantrums. They're going to be having a lot of hurt feelings because they need to be catered to. They need those words of positive affirmation. They need that pat on the back. They need that praise. They need you to remind them that they're the best. Like they know they're the best, but they need to hear it all the time. And they need you to prioritize them. That's the other thing. When these 4 are in love, they want your world to revolve around them. Aquarius a little less because Aquarius has a need for their own time. They're more of the loner of the bunch in terms of really having a high need for alone time. Scorpio does too, but Aquarius, it's essential for them. So in terms of the relationship, those 4 are going to want to control their partner. And that will be Leo, Scorpio, Taurus, and Aquarius. Leo, Scorpio, and Taurus want to control their partners. They don't just want their partners to be. They want them to be the way they want them to be. They want them to act the way they want them to act. They want them to look the way they want them to look. They want them to speak the way they want them. You get what I'm saying? They're not going to come out and tell you that when you're dating them, like, hey, I just need you to know when you fall in love with me, I'm going to need you to control you. They're not going to tell you that. But ultimately, that is what they want. Because when they don't have control, they feel unsafe. They feel unsafe. They can't just give you your heart and pull their hands back. When they give you their heart, it's going to come with strings. Because they need to be able to manipulate you so you handle their heart the way they want it handled. They're not just going to trust you to do right by them. They're going to make sure. They're going to make sure that you do what you're supposed to do. They're going to make sure that you do right by them. These three need to leverage their love. So if they cannot control you, if they cannot dominate you, if they cannot manipulate you, if they cannot do the little puppet play to get what they want, it's not going to work. So when they get with each other, it can be a struggle for power. Now, does that mean that it can't work? Absolutely. Never, never, no. Because when I look at when I'm doing a sinister reading, I'm looking at the entire chart. If other factors are compatible, where there's a little bit less competition and more collaboration, great. You know, it might make for a little feistiness. That's great in the bedroom. But if other factors are not compatible, then it's not going to work. Because who wants to be in a relationship with somebody they're always banging their head against the wall with? For what? Why are we doing this? Life is short. You really want to spend the rest of your life like this? Sagittarius, man, and Aquarius, woman. I like those two together. Those two are actually like friendship soulmate types. They tend to do well together because they have the same approach to life. They both are independent. They both are into positive energy. They both are into motivating each other to be the best version of themselves that they can be. They're both a highly philosophical, highly intelligent people, these two together. They're both a very much so into traveling the world, very much so into a global understanding of the world, very much so into loving like the depth of life, the creativity that life has to offer. They both resent a mundane existence, so they're very much so attracted to making sure that they are actively seeking new experiences, finding new ways to relate to the world, finding new approaches, new viewpoints, new intellectual ways to dissect this human experience that we're all going through. Both are highly intuitive, highly spiritual, very eager to learn as much as they can in general about life, about the world around them, very much so into having intellectual conversations, very much so into making love to each other's minds. They're very big on that, like making love to each other's minds, and oftentimes they're very turned off by people who don't have the intellect to be able to sustain a curiosity about life. They're very turned off by people who don't have the ability to communicate a genuine curiosity about the world that we live in. They're both also very committed to social justice, to human rights, to wanting to make the world a better place, or at the very least, leave it better than they found it. So there is a spiritual calling upon their life that is also very active for the two of them. Those two tend to make very best friends because of, you know, their propensity to really think about life very deeply and very creatively. If they happen to also be lovers, even great, if they can work that out. When they fall in love, usually it's going to be for life because their approach to the world is always unconventional. That's the other thing. They're truly unconventional in everything that they do. The way they do it, how they think, how they are, how they experience the world is truly unconventional. So when they get together, it's basically like a beautiful partnership where they're able to not only experience each other, but they experience the world through each other's eyes. Because again, their connection is not just physical, it's also deeply intellectual, deeply spiritual, and it's rooted in a desire to be good, to do good, to speak truth, to be authentic, to be who they are, and to own their own power. For this reason alone, I love seeing these two together. You can book your astrology reading at intuitivehealing.com. You can also watch videos at Intuitive Healing here on YouTube for Astrology 101 content. Listen to the Aquarius podcast on Spotify, as well as here on YouTube for your horoscope. If you're interested in astrology and love connections, you can visit at Styled Under Libra. And of course, for health and wellness and holistic healing, visit at Styled Under Virgo for all of your astrology content. Thanks so much for watching.